Here's a story about Baal Shem Tov story, a sort of a scary story. Don't tell your kids the story before they go to sleep. It was one of the followers of the Baal Shem Tov was a businessman. We'll call him Rabbi Ephraim. It doesn't say his name in the story. And he once went to the Baal Shem Tov. The Baal Shem Tov gave him a blessing, but told him that you always have to be careful to carry a candle with you wherever you go. A candle, not a lit candle, a candle. But that's not a very simple thing to do because a person has to carry it he has to carry it in his pants, his suit pocket, whatever. Maybe not even his suit pocket. It has to be every time when he goes into the bathroom. It has to take, no matter what, a hot day. You don't have a jacket, put it. So he has to carry this jacket. So he wrapped the candle up as much as possible, and it didn't take much place. He took a candle that would light for a couple of hours. The Baal Shem Tov doesn't say how big a candle, and he carried it with him. Carried the candle with him. Whenever the candle would break, he would replace it. Always had a candle with him. After a few years, this businessman, he happened to be at a certain inn. He was traveling, and he stopped at night. It was late at night. And he went into the inn, and the innkeeper was very nice. I see you're a rich person, a businessman. I'll give you a safe room, a good room, and a good price. Puts him in the room. He was very tired. Puts him in the room. And there was, lays down, gets ready to go to sleep. But before he goes to sleep, he notices that the owner locked the door. He himself locked the door from the inside, but it seemed there must have been another lock up on the top. The owner locked the door. And so he couldn't exactly figure out what was the point of the whole thing. It was nighttime. In those days, there was no electric. Of course, there was just a lamp. And so he went to the door to see if there was any way to open it up, and there wasn't. There was no way to open the door from the inside. And his key turned it, and it didn't open the door. So at first he thought maybe it was just an oversight, and it was going to. But then he started to sort of worry, and the lamp was getting lower and lower in his room. It was flickering. So he remembered the candle that he had. The Baal Shem Tov told him to carry all the time. He's been carrying it with him for like years. So he lit this candle, and he put it in some place where he provided light. And sure enough, the lamp that was in the room went out. And he started looking around in the room for something. The closet doors were locked. There was no way to do. So he took his bed, and he saw there was a little window up at the top, a little window. And so, but it was out of reach. So he took the bed, and he propped the bed up against the wall. And he used the chair, and he climbed up on the end of the bed, and he looked out the window, and he saw there were bars in the window. And it was overlooking the street, but there was nobody there. It was nighttime. And there were bars on the window. He couldn't get out. And so he didn't know what he was going to do. He was looking around, maybe something to protect himself, something. But the owner of the place was a huge guy, a huge person. It wasn't relevant that he could, fight against him in any way. So, and he was still thinking, maybe it's an oversight, but it's really weird. Why did he lock the door on me? What? Anyway, so he was looking around in the room, and he noticed that in the carpet, there was a sort of little bump in the carpet. So he pulled the carpet away, and he saw that there was a door on the floor. So he opened up the door, and he saw there was a dead body. Obviously, the person that had been killed just recently, because there was no smell or anything like that. So he realized what happened. This man, obviously, this person was obviously his last victim, and he was going to kill him and take his money. And so he thought quickly, what am I going to do? He says, what am I going to do? So he took the dead body out from the where it was, and he put the bed back down. He left the door open, and he rolled this dead body onto his bed, and covered it over with a sheet. And he saw this person had obviously been, hit on the head or something and killed. So he covered him over with the blankets as though he was asleep. He took all of his money that he had and he put it in a chair next to the bed. And then he crawled into this, this hole that was in the ground that was covered over. He crawled over. The blanket was on top of this latch that he had. And he closed it down, and the blanket fell over the top of it. And it was as though that he wouldn't be noticed. He hoped he wouldn't be noticed. And before that, he put the candle out. He put the candle out, extinguished the candle, and he crawled in. And the carpet fell over the door, and that's it. After about a couple of hours, he hears the door open up quietly. The man, the owner of the place, obviously thinking that he's asleep, comes in with a lamp. He looks and he sees, puts the lamp down, takes a big club, and hits the dead man laying on the ground. He hits him, kills him. He didn't know he's killing a dead man. And he himself, the place where the dead body was, it was big enough he could move over to the side. He moves over to the side, and he takes the dead body, puts it into the place right next to where he is. And he's laying there. He's being quiet. He's over on the side, so you can't see where he puts the dead body. And he closes it. He's laying next to this dead body, and he waits. He hears the person go out, and he locks the door again. As soon as he hears him go out, so he extricates himself from this whole thing. He climbs over the dead body, opens up the door as quietly as he can, jumps out. He waits until there's morning. The morning, the people start walking on the streets. He hears there's people walking on the streets, people coming in to the inn. And he again props up the bed and he starts screaming out the window, "Help me, help me." The owner of the place says to me, "Capture, I'm going to get killed." And this. People gather around. Call the police, call the police. He yells out, screaming out, the police come. The owner of the place, the murderer, he says, "No, that's my brother in there. He's insane. And I'm trying to keep him just locked up. I don't want to send him to a mental institution because they'll treat him badly. It's my brother. I love him." And he said, no, he's lying. He's yelling through the door, "Open up the door." "I don't want to open up the door. I'll get out." The policeman opens up the door. He shows him the dead body. He shows him that the rich man has stolen his money, and they take the money. And suddenly he realizes why it was the Baal Shem Tov told him that he had to take a candle with him all the time, because if it wasn't for the candle, he wouldn't have seen anything. He wouldn't have seen the body. He wouldn't have seen the latch, the door on the floor and everything. So it ended up that the Baal Shem Tov saw in the future, and he saved this man from certain death and tragedy. And so it is with us, the leaders of the generation. In our case, the Rebbe is giving us advice to save us spiritually from spiritual death, which in many ways is even worse than physical death. And everyone should carry a little bit of light, and that's a little bit of Torah that we know, a sentence of the Psalms, something, and that little light with us will illuminate the life and save us from spiritual dangers. Have a good day with Mashiach now.